Good evening and welcome to PM eVidya channel. I am Mukta Kandiyal and it's 5 p.m. on our clock, so that means it's time for our special session, that is Sahyog. And the topic we are going to discuss today in today's session is leisure time use and adolescent mental well-being. And if you have any query, any question related to our today's session, please feel free to call us. Our phone number is 8800440559. You can reach us via email as well. Our email address is flashing on your TV screen right now. You can also connect with us through our YouTube channel, that is ncertofficial. You can drop any query, any question related to today's session there. We will try taking them all to our expert and try answering them to you. So let's start today's session. Before that, let me introduce to our expert today for today's sessions. Our first expert is Dr. Dhanya Krishnan. She is working at RIE NCRT Bhubaneswar. Namaskar, ma'am, and very warm welcome.
Namaste.
And our second expert is Ms. Arundhati Mishra. She is practicing counselor. Namaskar, ma'am.
Namaskar.
And today's session, that is Sahyog, and that is being telecasted on PM eVidya channel number 6 to 12 and also streaming live on our YouTube channel, that is NCRT Official. So ma'am, I would like to start the session by requesting Dr. Dhanya ma'am to answer for very first question for the today's session, ma'am. How does productive use of leisure time lead to the mental well-being of adolescents?
Thank you, Mukta, for the wonderful question. This leisure time is the most ignored area or the less explored area, especially in Indian context. But we need to realize that leisure is a very significant domain for adolescents' personal development. If you ask me if there is any universal definition for what exactly leisure time or leisure activities consist of, maybe we don't have a clear-cut answer for it, because leisure time is a social construct and there are many cultural and social factors which determine the leisure time activities. But we can say that to adolescents and to children, these are the activities that they voluntarily take it up for recreation and for some personal interest activities. So basically we can say that it is a quality time characterized by freedom and independence. And the most important thing is that the free choice of activities. There is not mandatory that the specific activity to be undertaken by each individual. There is a free choice for anybody to carry out the activity which is of interesting to them. So we can say that during leisure, we all know that we are free from the usual work. And in this context, probably we have a confusion regarding idleness and the leisure, how it actually differentiate. So we can see that the leisure time also is free of work, but it actually is of creating meaningful, productive activities which could be helpful for adolescents to know by themselves, to understand their self, because we know that adolescent is the phase wherein the identity crisis starts. So these recreation activities during leisure will help them to self-determine their identity, and they can understand that the human as a free being as well. So we can say that the leisure activities actually facilitates the self-definition for them, and it helps in facilitating identity formation. So next is that the leisure time activities could be for fulfilling the need for autonomy and exploration of their emerging adult life, because they are looking forward to adult life, especially the adolescents, and the developmental needs of autonomy or the developmental need of recreating by themselves, constructing certain activities and for exploring the world. So these recreation activities would help them to identify the activities which is of interesting to them. So we can say that it gives unique developmental opportunities for realizing self, for socialization and for learning and increased well-being as well. So in effect, we can say the adolescents can connect positively with peers, with the neighboring places and the people, and then community. And we know that, and the last 1 month we all were talking about substance abuse through Sahyog and Paricharcha. And one of the factors which had come out in these panel discussions is that the peer pressure as one of the most important cause for substance abuse. Why it happens actually is that it is when adolescents are free, and if they take it a setback and then they find it boring, the probably it is that because of the peer pressure they indulge in substance abuse and certain kinds of antisocial activities as well. So if meaningfully and productively, if we can design certain leisure time activities for adolescents, and if they carry out those things, probably that the socialization skills and other life skill also could be developed. For example, individual competency and life skills such as problem solving, or coming out of certain adverse conditions, or maybe that they have to face the world as an adult in few years. So these things give them an opportunity or the training ground for the development of these life skills. So this opportunity for relaxation, we all know that the leisure time is for relaxing. But at the same time, along with the relaxation, the self-control and self-expression could be practiced, because adolescent phase they have lots of intense energy with them. So unless we channelize those energy in the proper way, probably there is a chance that they go with the deviant behavior or some antisocial behavior as well. So channelizing that immense amount of energy which adolescents have would definitely help them for pursuing their perseverance, self-control, and that is why we can say that there is a strong impact on mental and physical well-being of children. So we can conclude or summarize that the impact of leisure time, the positive impact of the leisure time, as one is that for social development and engagement, it could be by maintaining the friendship, maybe hanging out with friends, and then having socialization with immediate peers and community. And the second one could be the professional development. When I say professional development, it is that they could take up certain kind of the activities which actually develop the skills, employable skills of them, so that they can take it up later on in their future life. So the professional development of and engagement also could be one of the objectives of leisure time activities. The third one is that physical development, because we all know during adolescence period the health is one of the concerns that we have to focus on, and many kind of the leisure time activities related to sports, then their physical development could be facilitated well. The next one is that about the cognition or cognitive development. During this process of self-exploration and self-expression, then probably that they are coming out with higher critical thinking, higher problem solving. So the cognitive development of adolescents also would be facilitated using leisure time. The last one, that is the most important thing, is that it is about the civilian responsibility of an adolescent. They get to know that what is their role and responsibility of adolescents when they become adult in the society. How do they behave in the society? What are their responsibility towards the society? So they are taking up the role of adults in form of leisure time activities, and this civilian responsibility and that civic sense also could be developed through leisure time activities if they are properly designed, Mukta.
Definitely, and thank you so much for sharing such insights, and especially starting out with clearing out the difference between the leisure time and ideal time. I think that could be the matter of confusion for most of us till date. Thank you so much. My next question is for Arundhati ma'am. Since Dr. Dhanya has already talked about leisure time in detailed manner, so what do you think? What could be the different leisure time activities that could be undertaken by adolescents, ma'am?
Thank you. Leisure doesn't improve quality of life unless a child knows how they can utilize the time properly. Here I am discussing about some activities. First activity is learn, learn and learn. Learn different skills, learn different language, like different, you can communicate in English, you can improve your English quality, communication skills. You can improve your different language quality in Duolingo. You can learn different type of language in like Spanish. Also you can go for online learning in different course, in different sites. In YouTube also being a good source for acquiring information. Second activity is physical activity. You can go for indoor and outdoor games. In indoor, you can go for yoga, meditation. Yoga and meditation is very good for development of the mind. Third is time management and sleeping and eating habits. When we are at home, we started munching a lot. We started munching a lot every time. So it is very much important for the child, when the child will be busy in some work, he or she can manage the eating habits. Also, in the leisure time, should a child take some rest, a proper amount of rest, because in the busy schedule, the child is being busy in different sectors like homework, classwork, school, tuition, everywhere. So in the leisure time, it's very important to take some amount of rest. After that, entertainment factor. In the now it's time for summer vacation, so a child can go with their family members for a good vacation. Also, a child can see some good documentaries rather seeing some stupid series, Netflix series. They can go for good documentaries like Gandhiji, APJ Abdul Kalam. This all documentary will helps a lot to the child. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arundhati ma'am. Ma'am, I would like to come to you, Dr. Dhanya, one more time. And the question is, how school and teachers can guide adolescents on better use of leisure time for their well-being?
Thank you, Mukta. Ms. Arundhati has explained various activities that could be undertaken during leisure time. So basically, it could be an organized activity, or it could be not that structured activities. So here comes the significance of reflecting that whether any adult influence could be possible in the leisure time activity, or is it that something very free for the adolescents to take it up. So we can say that there is a greater responsibility of adults to develop the habit of active and meaningful free time. So here, as the teachers who have greater influence on children and their development, so we can say that the teachers can guide our adolescent students for taking up a productive leisure time activities. So when it comes, we can see that there is a relationship between education and leisure time activity as well. When I say the relationship, it is that leisure time activity also intends to nurture certain interest. It develops certain kinds of habits and develops the personality of a person as well. So the proper relationship towards leisure time activity, and as the teacher, they can guide the students or the adolescents for valuing free time. Sometimes we take leisure time as something. Yeah. So it is that a relationship between education and leisure time activity that we are talking about. So the teachers can help the children to focus on the quality of content and the activities that could be undertaken. So here we know that the media influence, and then many times children and ourselves, we don't get enough time and space for having very productive recreative activities as well, recreational activities or during leisure time. Many times we are engrossed in some of the media and then other social networking as well. So here what a teacher can do is that having a set of guidelines for the students, that what kind of activities that could be undertaken during leisure time, that would be of help. So here the proper set of content selection, content in the sense that the activities, what kind of activities to be done by the children, so that could be guided by the teacher. In fact, you can say it's not about the controlled activities, but it's rather, it is an organization, and help. The teacher is helping the adolescents how to organize the leisure time activities. For example, scheduling the leisure time activities, having the daily routine and how it to be done. So, and even in the schools have a greater responsibility. So as Ms. Arundhati was talking about the different activities, it could be indoor and outdoor, it could be in-school activity, inside school activity, and out of school activities as well. For example, when you consider the in-house, the in-school activities, there could be scope for children to have more and more extracurricular activities. So creating a culture of extracurricular activities, or creating a culture of leisure time, that itself is something very significant, so that we value leisure time as something very productive and meaningful. So the next responsibility of the schools, and especially the teachers, is to encourage and motivate children to undertake very productive and creative leisure time activities. So that is what I meant by strong culture of leisure time activities. So here various educational activities also could be undertaken. It doesn't mean that only the sports or the dance or kind of extracurricular activities alone. During the leisure time activity, the teacher can think of designing and then implementing certain kinds of projects. The teachers can ask the students to do certain educational projects, something which is very interesting, rather than giving burden to the children and to their parents as well. So create certain kind of or design certain kind of educational activities in the form of a project. The students themselves, they discuss with their peer group, and then they even find fun and then enjoyment doing that activity itself. So basically we can say that, but whatever activities that we do, we should make sure that these are according to their age and cognitive level and their interest as well. So based on the interest of the students, the activity to be decided. So first and foremost, what teachers have to do is that identify students' interest. What area, in which area they want to excel, or which area is something interesting to them. So through the discussion, through certain kinds of conversation and then discussion in the classroom, identify the area of interest of children and then help the children to design or involve in certain activities. So that support and encouragement would definitely help children to take it up very productive leisure time activities. The next one could be that encouraging and motivation always help the children to come out with their own creative way of self-exploration. So, and the next is that educate the children about the productive value of leisure time. As I explained in the first question as well, it is that how we value leisure time. As we are contradicting to the idleness and then leisure time, we had a discussion about it that making use of the leisure time for the betterment of the self, understanding the self-exploration, and doing something productive for the society. In both the ways that help it. So the teachers can guide children to take up such kind of activities so that they start valuing the leisure time. And then the next one is that the various activities could be decided by the teachers for the inside classes and the outside classes, and being in connective with the parents as well, and ask or the guide parents that even the parents could be of supportive in case of designing and assisting them in the leisure time activity. I'm sure my co-panelists would discuss in detail about how parents could support. So I'm sure the teachers have a greater role to play when it comes to the leisure time activities and designing and motivating our adolescent students to take it up very creative leisure time activities, Mukta.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And as you said, you already told the importance of the schools and teachers, for deciding, for pushing the children to create or to utilize their leisure time in a very creative way. So my next question is for Arundhati ma'am. So ma'am, what could be the role of parents on helping children to creatively use leisure time?
The role of parents is very much important to nurture the child and develop the child, how a child can use the leisure time productively. A parent can promote the child's talent and skills. Every child have a unique talent. Introduce them about different talents, different creative ideas like art, craft, designing, dancing, singing, etc. And analyzing them and their works. Talk to them about the activities, if they are enjoying the activities or not, if they are feeling bored on that activity, so that a parent can know what the hidden talent in between the child, so that the parents can encourage the child in that field. I have an advice over here for the parents: sit and do some activity with the child. Activities like write a poem, write an essay, or do some paintings, this type of activity, so that the kid will feel the parents are supportive towards him or her, being lovable and supporting the extracurricular activities. My second activity is introduce and throw the best out of best challenge. Teach your children about recycling waste product help them understanding the importance of saving the environment. Second, recycle waste product also be a very good productive activity, very good creative activity. It will give booster for the child. Third activity is let them do a little course like to help the children being responsible, guide them in doing some little tasks like household tasks, make your own bed, clean your own room, your study table, wardrobe, etc. It will give a child a responsibility factor. Second, when you are going to market to buy something for grocery or anything of item vegetables, bring your child with you. Learn them how to buy such things. It will improve the responsibility factor in the child. Also, the child can know the value of money. Lastly, it will help the child in little bit of mathematical calculation. It will improve the child memory strength. Fourth activity is in the summer vacation, you can do different DIY projects, so that DIY projects like the complex chemical equations, science, physics projects, all these type of projects you can do. You can go search in the internet and take a printout of different DIY activities like how to make invisible link from lemon juice. Another is preparing a lava lamp from vegetable oil. All these activities are very interesting. The child will take interest in this type of activity, so that the child will also be productive and be engaged in this type of activity. It will also create a relationship bond in between the child and parents through this type of activity. Also, through wastage product, you can encourage your child to prepare some educational aids, so that it will be more easy for the child to learn different subjects. Activity number 5 is historical adventures. Summer vacation is the excellent opportunity for the parents to prepare a trip to different place. The place where we plan a trip to a ancient and historical place of India, so that it can help the child to learn about significant events from the history. It will create a good interest in the child about to know history. This type of activities a parents can conduct, so to develop child's leisure time very effectively. According to me, time is a very limited asset, so it is important to use the time very productively.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Arundhati ma'am, for explaining this so beautifully. And as we still have last 2 to 3 minutes into our session, I would request Dr. Dhanya ma'am to kindly give any concluding remarks to all our students, any piece of advice that could be a takeaway from today's session, ma'am.
See, the first and foremost thing is that we should enjoy leisure time. You know, it should not be stressful anymore. So at the same time, though it is relaxation, it's for relaxation, try to use it wisely. Try to productively or creatively decide certain activities, as Ms. Arundhati was talking about, with the support of parents, and take the assistance of parents or teachers or any others that you are trusting on the educational activities. Do certain kinds of activities which help you to rejuvenate yourself. That is the final outcome that we are looking forward after a leisure time. So I'm sure that if you take up certain activities which is of interesting to you as per your passion, make it as a habit and then take it up forward, so that you feel rejuvenated, at the same time you are contributing to yourself and to the society. That would be my concluding remark for this particular session.
Thank you, Dhanya ma'am. Thank you so much. And I think it's time for us to end our session here only. But before that, I would like to thank both of our experts for joining with us today and delivering such a productive session to all our learners and students. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arundhati ma'am. And also to our learners, thank you so much for being connected. So be connected, stay connected to PM eVidya channel and CRT official in the same way. It's time to wrap up session here only. Namaskar.